I'm about to show you something that some of you might not want to believe, but this is reality. This is how the Collins radio actually works. There's no changing it. It works this way. It has a local oscillator, which is called a PTO. Now, right now it's at 3,000, 3 megahertz. All right, 3 megahertz. The dial down here is at, I wrote it down so I don't get confused. Right now it's at 3.5 megahertz. And this is at 3 megahertz. Now, as we go up in frequency from 3.5 to 4.5, the local oscillator is going to go down in frequency. Now I can change the band. All right, I just changed the band. Didn't change, did it? All right, let me go back. So no matter what band you're on, when this needle is to the left, no matter what the scale is, it's going to be 3 megahertz. And as I go up the scale, here we go. I'm going to go up the scale. Let me give you some audio. Maybe we can get some hams in there. I'm going up the scale. Notice the frequency on the frequency counter is going down. Okay, we're on the hand band. We're on the, that would be 80 meters. Now I'm going up the band. And notice the local oscillator is going down in frequency. It always goes between 3 megahertz down to 2 megahertz. All right, it's going to go down to 2 point. There we go. So 4, close enough. A little bit below. It does have some overshoot in both directions. So anyway, you can't change it. That's the way it works. Now most radios, the local oscillator is above the incoming signal, and it produces an IF frequency. Now this is a dual conversion radio. They use these block converters, or you would call it not a block converter. You got a block converter, you got a mixer. The mixer takes different frequency bands that you're on, and it mixes it using a crystal oscillator down to a certain frequency range, and then it does it again into the local oscillator. So no matter what band you're on, the final local oscillator that goes to the IF, which is 1 kilohertz. It's not it's 1 megahertz. It's not 455. It's not a standard regular radio. And that's what you got to understand. If you want to work on one of these Collins radios, it's not going to work like anything you've ever seen before. And if you go look at the videos, most of the videos are the guys that got the thing closed up, and they're showing you it operating from the outside. Like a woman could show you. A real man opens the radio up and understands how it works. Now, I want to tell you, this radio has a very steep learning curve. When you, in your mind, when you're working on it, in my case, I'm actually building a solid state version to understand. And it works like nothing else. And I look so many videos I find on YouTube. They're lazy people videos. You know, the one guy's got a $40,000 lab. Every radio he works on is like brand freaking new, no matter how old it is. He reads up on it real quick and he spouts back. He's got a big following. Oh, he's so smart. People actually leave me messages. You should go check him out. He's really smart. No, he's not. Okay, he's got his fancy little tie on, and he always has something that's perfectly clean in his hand. But I'm trying to do something different. Whenever I notice, like, this radio is totally different. And no matter what band you turn this radio to, this thing goes between 3 megahertz down to 2. Because what you're dealing with is a frequency range that has been changed by mixers to get down in frequency. And the reason they did that is the local oscillator, which is called a PTO, drifts less when you work with a lower frequency. So as you go up in frequencies, you have a simple crystal oscillator. Thanks, I needed that. It has a local oscillator. They use a crystal that bumps the frequencies down, so you can keep using the same PTO no matter what frequency range you're on. This radio goes from 0.5 kilohertz all the way up to 30 megahertz. And the PTO is always the same range on each band. It's really cool. And I'm telling you this because no one else has told you that. I looked at the videos, like, this is pathetic. And what sets me off a lot of times is something really bad happens. This woman that I knew in the neighborhood, she's been alive for years, she's been fighting cancer. And I come up on her house, and there's her two young daughters, and they're in their 30s, and they're both, the woman has lung cancer from smoking. She admits it. She says she really enjoyed smoking. Okay, so I met her daughter one time. I asked her, says, how's your mom doing? And the girl was smoking. Now, today, both the girls are out there smoking. And they're 30-something, maybe 40, and they're out there smoking because the mom won't let them smoke in the house because that's what she's dying from. And the two daughters are out on the porch smoking. And it upsets me because that's how my mother died, that's how my sister died, that's how my favorite uncle died. My cousins, my mother's family were heavy smokers. They all died from smoking. So that's what's doing it. And it's bouncing around in my head, and there's no way I can fix it. And I told you, I get into radios to escape the real world because the real world is messed up. Now, the radio has exact parameters. There's no way to undo the fact that this has a PTO that works the same range no matter what band you're on. There's no change in reality, but half this country is following a person that's a con artist, and I can't fix that. He was going to put a golf course in my town in New Jersey. It's one of the reasons I had to move here. I got away from him and his con. The golf course was never built. He made money without ever really buying anything. And then he became my president. So I feel so bad for the people that are still following him. Now, his attorneys that are starting to flip, that he tried to subvert the country. He tried to do a coup. And there are people that are watching this video. No, he's not. I don't believe that. That's the media. I feel bad for you. I really do. I told you, I hide in these radios because I can't fix the world. And hopefully you enjoy understanding some of these weird radios that I've shown you, the military stuff, and what's really wrong with it versus what someone else says is wrong with this. I showed you on this radio the cams moving the selectable IF bandpass up and down. I went and looked through all the videos. They're pathetic. They're absolutely. So I'm laying in bed thinking, show them that the PTO has the same range no matter what band you're on, and see if they can wrap their head around that, because there's so much going on in the world that's insane. But this radio seems insane, but they built it and designed it a certain way because back in 1951 they had no way of building an oscillator that didn't drift. They didn't have digital synthesized circuits, so they said, well, we can get a 3 megahertz to 2 megahertz oscillator to have very low drift. And it's a lot more than if you built a Franklin oscillator out of FETs, because they had temperature problems because they used tubes. So they said, well, what can we make? How can we make it? And they developed this really good system. It's used in one of the best radios ever made, which would be the Collins 390A. Let's say 90A, because some people will argue that. But they did what they had to do back then. Now, somewhere along the line, as a country, as the world, it's gotten crazier. People, the people that really can't sing use an auto-tune, and now they're a big hit. And then they drug out, and they become big in the news because they're on rehab. And everything's gone crazier than it used to be. Now, I remember when I was younger, and I have a really good memory, and it was crazy then now, but it's overwhelming. And it causes me to hide in radios during the day. I just wanted to tell you that that's what you're dealing with. You're dealing with someone that loves radios and how they work. And when I see a radio that works different than anything I've ever seen before, I'll spend $530 to buy it. And I went through this radio and I got it all working. And then I said, you know, I'm laying in bed going, let me do a video on this. And then I'm laying in bed, now I can't get to sleep because I'm thinking about doing this video. Just to get it in your mind that no matter what band you're on, the local oscillator has the same range because they've manipulated the frequencies down using mixers. So they fall in a certain range that now you only need a certain range local oscillator, which is, they call it a PTO, permeability tuned oscillator. And they move the frequencies down, mix them down, so now the same oscillator is used on every band within that range. It always has the same range, and it's slick. And that's what I wanted to tell you. And hopefully, after I'm done with this video and I upload it, I can get some sleep. This is horrible. You know, like those two girls sitting there smoking, and their mother's inside dying from smoking. And I've gone through that with my family, and it just brought it all back. And then I was working. If you saw my video on the PTO, I didn't have enough density of material that doesn't drift or doesn't change with temperature in order to tune that coil what I wanted to do. So I'm gone back to the original design of making a Franklin oscillator do the bandwidth. I have to wind a new coil, and the problem is my knob's going to be backwards. It's going to be inverse. Now this band is an inverse band because when you turn in the knob, the frequency is going down, but yet the radio is going up in frequency. Wrap your head around that. It's called an inverse, and it's not inverted. It's an inverse. You could say the band is mirror. It's a mirror image. It's backwards, but it's really an inverse. I think that's it. All right, that's it.